Well, I thought it was about time that I sat down and actually record this little vlog about my trip to Atlanta and the DDPY Performance Centre. It was a mind-blowing experience, to say the least. But yeah, I wanted to get this down eventually. I got back from Atlanta. I was here for home for 36 hours, and then I went down to Henley for World Yoga Fest, and then I came back and I've been busy. But I'm going to sit down and get it done. Now, what I might do is not what I might, what I am going to do is record this in little bits. So excuse like the outfit changes that'll probably happen. But because I've got photos, I've got other videos, so I'm going to like intersperse a lot of the videos, the photos, like for whatever happens each day. Like each day, I've got like my little experience for each day. So if I record each day bit by bit, it's something to start with. So let's start with getting to Atlanta. First day, obviously flying out. Left, it was the 23rd of Tuesday, the 23rd of July. Just checking my calendar. Tuesday, 23rd of July, went to the airport. Left the house at like 6:30 in the morning. 6 o'clock at 6:30 in the morning. Headed to my dad's, dropped my car if he was giving me a lift to the airport. And then went up to the airport, Newcastle Airport. Got there, not a problem. We had a bit of time to kill, so we had a coffee and just had a chat for a little bit. And I worked with my dad for the better part of 19 years, so saw each other pretty much every day, at least every working day. And now, since obviously I got made redundant, with place closed, we both got made redundant at the end of the year. He's now retired. He spent a few months in Australia, so not seeing each other anywhere near as much as we used to. So it was nice to have a little catch up before flying out. So once with our coffee, got my way through, went to the airport, through security, into the lounge and everything. I got to the gate, got myself sorted, chilled out, and then it was a flight. It was Newcastle to Heathrow, nice easy flight to start with. It was fine. It was literally a quick flight. I think the flight itself was maybe an hour or something, hour and a bit. It wasn't long. Probably took longer on either side of it. But got there and was meeting Judy, who Judy's someone I met, another DDPY instructor. Met her last year when we did a DDPY UK meetup. We both happened to be flying out at the same time from the same location. So we're like, look, we'll meet up. We'll be hang out at the airport. At least we've got some company for a few hours. And, we're both going to the same hotel. So once we get to the other end, we've got company to get to the hotel as well. So, we can make sure we both get there safely. So met up with Judy. We hung out for a while. It was nice just to catch up. Got ourselves through our gate, ready to head to Atlanta. Got there, waiting. There was a slight delay on the flight, if I remember correctly. But got on the plane, and I was in an exit row, which was great. So I had loads of space. That you can't go wrong with. Fortunately, I didn't have to rescue everyone. I didn't have to save the day. That was quite handy as well. But yeah, I was being able to stretch my legs out. One downside is my TV didn't work. So unfortunately, I didn't have a TV. Luckily, I loaded up my phone with audiobooks and I put the Iron Claw on, the Von Erich movie. So I started watching that. I had some Batman that I downloaded, Batman, the original series, the cartoon, Batman, the animated series. So I'd watched a little bit of that, listened to some audiobooks, and I tried to sleep. Just trying, because it was flying out, due to get to Atlanta about 10:30 Atlanta time, which would have been, like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning our time, something like that. It's 5 hour time difference. Yeah, so it's like 3 o'clock, 3:30 our time, UK time. But got there, flight was fine, landed. We were told when we got there, they can't bring the gate out, the air bridge. Can't bring the air bridge out because it was raining that heavily. I mean, luckily we landed. That was the big one. Obviously, I'd seen reports of potential thunderstorms. Luckily, we'd got landed, and then eventually they got about 20 minutes, I think it was. They got the bridge out and said, "We can't let you off yet. The bridge is leaking." So it's like, brilliant. But we're there. End of the day, we're there in Atlanta safely. It's what it is, For me, delays, anything, I'm not going to worry about it. You see a lot of people get so angry, so like frustrated and like yelling at people. Like, to be honest, not their fault. Jim got up that morning, went to work, And we told Jim there's been a delay, and Jim's like, oh God, they're going to shout at me now because it's not Jim's fault. And for me personally, I'm just going to say it's part of the adventure, and that's all I'm going to worry about. I'm there safely. Eventually got off the plane, got ourselves through to like security. It took, I believe it was about 90 minutes or so to get through security, the queue, like immigration. The queue was massive because at the time there'd been a lot of like delays with and they moved, they sent planes to other places. Like there was a lot of Delta issues, so there was like flights being moved to Atlanta and rescheduled and redirected. I believe Atlanta's a bit of a hub airport. I don't know exactly, but I think that's what was going on. So you had loads of different flights landing there. So the queue to get through was quite something. But eventually got through. Once you got through the queue, the actual getting through security, you go up to the guy at the desk, passport, visa waiver, nice and straightforward. Put your hand on the little passport, not the passport, the little fingerprint scanner. He asks you, what you're doing and when you're here, how long you're here for, and then go straight through. You can pick your bags up. Now I had carry on. I had my backpack and like personal item, which was like a laptop bag, which had my books in, my electronics, my toiletries. Quick and easy. I had to take stuff out for going through any of the securities, take them out, put them back in, nice and quick and easy. Main bag, obviously all my clothes, all my other bits like that. So I didn't have to worry about picking anything up, but Judy did. So Judy, I was waiting for Judy. I was also waiting for Americ, who I was sharing a hotel room with. Got a hotel room with 2 double beds. We split the cost, makes it a little bit cheaper for us. But he was flying in the same day, but he was coming in from France. Again, he'd had some delays leaving France, which was a little bit of a nightmare for him. But again, got there eventually. Obviously, our delay in getting through security kind of helped because it meant he got there. If we'd have got through security quicker or we'd have arrived when we were meant to, and he was still delayed, it would have pushed it completely out. But unfortunately, Judy's bag had done a little walkies. She had 2 bags checked. Eventually, one turned up, one didn't turn up. But when they found out, yep, still in London, which isn't really helpful, but it's what it was. She got it back a couple of days later. That was great. But eventually, I was waiting there. Eventually, Americ got a message off him saying, yeah, I'm here. He got through security. I think it eased off a little bit by the time he got there. So, yeah, he came through. We all eventually, we met up. We eventually all got our bags sorted and everything dealt with. Went through, went outside. At this point, it is just after midnight Atlanta time. But I think by the time we'd all got fully sorted, maybe half midnight. Quarter past, yeah, I think it was about quarter past midnight when we eventually got ourselves sorted outside. Walk outside, the humidity, this is that time of night, humidity just hits you. And that's then. But like I say, they had a lot of thunderstorms. Go on the Lyft app, bosh, straight on, get our lift up booked in for the hotel. Fortunately, all staying at the same hotel, which was useful. Got there, got to the hotel at 1 a.m. Atlanta time, which would be 6 a.m. UK time, so which means I'd left the house pretty much 24 hours earlier, like 23 and a half hours since I left my house. From my house to Hartlepool to Newcastle to Heathrow to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta Airport to the actual hotel. It was great driving through Atlanta in the lift. You're looking out the window. Yes, it's dark, but you're seeing all these massive buildings. It's just so different than obviously what's it like in the UK. So we got there and just checked in. A guy called Maurice checked us in, and we were getting in there. It's so late. We're all so tired, and he was so bright, cheery, and happy. It was an amazing thing to actually get there. And he was a person that was a first full, apart from our Lyft driver, I was a first real interaction with someone there, and that was brilliant. And Maurice, you probably never watched this video, but again, thank you very much. I did say to you on the time that you made that first interaction, getting to our hotel as late as we did, amazing. So if you ever end up in the Hyatt Cobb Galleria in Atlanta, and Maurice is there, he's a sound guy. I mean, everyone there, staff at the hotel were all brilliant. But Maurice just stuck out because first person we interacted with, checked us in, got us our keys, sorted us all out. And he actually said, are you part of the Hyatt Club? I was like, no, I'm not. Oh, you just give us your email address, you sign you up for it, you get 2 free drinks. I'm like, well, it doesn't cost me anything, get 2 free drinks, why not? said, go and grab, gave me my email address, went round, got the 2 free drinks. One of them, I got like a fruity, what was it, just like I think a fruit juice, like a smoothie sort of thing. But I also saw some Liquid Death, and I've seen it loads, I've never tried it. And I was like, you know what, it's free, I'm going to give it a shot. Got that, took it and put it in the hotel, in the fridge in the room when we got up there. Lovely room. I know I've got a video, probably what I'll put up next, of like a little bit of a room tour. I'm probably going to edit that video down because I'm recapping some of that stuff now that I've said about the flight. Either way, like I said, got there, got the room. By the time I was actually in the room, it's like half past midnight. Well, sorry, 1:30, and it was basically get in, dump stuff. I had a quick shower and I went to bed. I was just knackered. I dozed a bit on the plane, but it wasn't proper sleep. And great first day. So I'm going to jump in now. Up next will be a little video of basically me the first morning I get there, talking about probably the room and a few other bits. So yeah, back with that in a minute.
Oh, don't know how well this picks up, but yeah, nice room, nice big telly, a little fridge in the corner, just down there, little fridge, coffee machine, nice little seating area. Yeah, so I'm going to film a few bits and pieces. It'll be a bit all over the place, I don't know what I'll get, but yeah, so it's day one. Been in Atlanta, going to have a baseball game later and have a little mooch. The weather's actually looking British, really. It's raining a little bit, or it's been raining. I mean, see how well you can see out the window. It's perked up a little bit now. It's getting a bit. It's what, 8 o'clock in the morning, something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a little wander soon, and so I'll be at the PC from tomorrow. Got a couple of workouts. Tomorrow I'm doing a workout with Dallas and Josh and Air first, early in the morning, and Dallas in the evening, afternoon. Then there's a summit intro thing. I'm very tired, so yeah, don't know how coherent I'm going to be, but it's all good. Then I've got Matt Kilgore, Scott French and Paige on Friday, and then it is Hayden and Lavinia and Yoga Doc sessions on Saturday. So a good couple of days, a good 6 workouts put in, plus there's the other things like the photo shoots and other stuff. And obviously when I put this up, I've edited some sort of video and some logical so see how it goes. I'm going to film a lot and see what I get. Here we go, talk to you later.
So that was a little room tour. It was a fine hotel room, did the job, but for 2 of us for basically a week. Brilliant. Comfortable beds. I actually slept pretty decently, especially for me. I usually struggle in unfamiliar beds. Anytime I go to a hotel or anything like that, I struggle. But this one, nice beds. Maybe I was just that tired. But yeah, after that, went downstairs, grabbed myself some breakfast. Breakfast options were decent. Again, if you wanted, there was bacon, sausage, if you wanted all that. Again, doing the whole plant-based thing. But I ended up with bagels, bowls of fruit, cereal with oat milk. It was like jam, peanut butter, few like various things like that. Like I say, the cereal was great. It was just pre-packaged cereal. Peel it off, pour some milk on, fruit juice, and of course breakfast staple coffee. Got to have me coffee to get me day going. So did that, and then went out for a little walk, and then from there, just walked up the road. And my aim was walk up the road, see how far I can go, see what's about. End up at a Target. There was a Target, there was a Goodwill, and there was a comic book shop I wanted to check out. So yeah, that's coming up next. Check it out.
Well, outside in Atlanta, it's a bit warm. But one thing, walking past Chuck E. Cheese, might pop in there later. Yeah, outside, I'm a little wander, figuring out what I want to do with the day. Got my baseball later. Yeah, let's see what happens. Bye.
So yeah, kept walking up past that Chuck E. Cheese, continued all the way up the road, and from there, I was looking at my map and I'd seen the location of the comic book shop, which was on the route towards the Goodwill and the Target. So I went there. I had made a bit of a rookie error. I was wearing my barefoot shoes, like love wearing them now, but hadn't worn any socks. And I thought, I can get away with it. I've been spending a lot of time. I've been teaching yoga for the last few months now. I spent a lot of time wearing my barefoot without any socks. The heat, the humidity was probably a bad idea. So I ended up popping into a TJ Maxx, which is the American version of a TK Maxx over here. Looks exactly the same. I'll stick a couple of pictures up somewhere for this. But yeah, I went in there. I was like, right, I need somewhere to get some socks. And that was next to a Family Dollar. And then the comic book shop was just there. Comic book shop board games. So I was like, perfect. So I went to TJ Maxx, found myself some nice, cheap, like $7 for 6 pairs of ankle socks because my feet were feeling it. I could feel those blisters developing. I hadn't gone that far at that point, but I had actually ended up wearing out my insoles of my shoes. I should have been taking them out in originally. They were more of a keep warm insole. Didn't really need them in, but they were just obliterated. They ended up going in the bin. But yeah, got me socks. Went to the comic book shop. Had a little wander around there. Quite a big comic book shop. I'm going to put a little clip up next of. I sent it to my D&D group. Sent a little video just to shop. I think I might have even posted it on Instagram, but I sent them a couple of pictures of like all the D&D books because they always like seeing that. But yeah, so up next, little clip of the comic book shop, and yeah, continue my journey along through TJ Maxx, fantastic shop. Went to the Dollar Tree, had a look around there again. That was it's a pound shop basically. It didn't really look much different than what I'd expect a pound shop to be, apart from everything's those American brands. But it was pretty big, and I picked up because I was going to be away because I was going to be around so many people. I actually grabbed a few things like vitamin C, like not supplements, like little not tablets, not even tablets, like just like little hard candies, basically, just vitamin C ones. Just thought it's something. And I also picked up another can of Liquid Death because I drank that previous can, really enjoyed it. And then I picked up I believe it was a watermelon flavored one. And I've actually got a can next to me right now. I've actually started getting a bit of a thing for this stuff. This one is the Severed Lime. Just picked this up yesterday. Actually, really quite liking it. It's not the cheapest, but it's nice. And to be honest, I spend more on beer when I buy beer. So if I buy a few cans of that every now and again, it's not the end of the world. So anyway, here's a comic book shop. Quick look at that, and I'll be back with some. I told you it was a quick look. I mean, that was a massive shop. They had all that space. That section I was in was basically board games you could just play. Like all those tables were for gaming, were for like Pokemon and Magic, stuff like that. And that was a brilliant space. And it was called, I've pulled my map up so I can, if you ever see me looking over this way, I've got my TV next to me, another monitor with my map so I can see what I actually did, try and remember. Because it was a busy time. But yeah, Titan Comics and Games in Smyrna, brilliant, brilliant comic book shop. I ended up picking up a game which is about somewhere, and it was just a small card game. It was one because I couldn't pick anything big. It was like a $10 game. It was quick and easy, and I played it a couple of times in the shop while I was giving my feet a bit of a chance. I'd get those socks on that I just bought. But yeah, it was great. Support a little independent comic book shop, even if it was only $10. It was a game that I knew I could fit in my bag, take home with me. If I got the chance over the next few days, I'd have a chance to play it with people because there was going to be a lot of people hanging out with them. So from there, yeah, kept walking. Eventually got myself up to the Target, which was a massive, massive shop. And I do next video that's going to come up is just me on the way back from there. I think walking from the Target back towards the Goodwill. Again, it was just that far. You have to get to the Target and then get back to the Goodwill. It was quite a distance. but they were on the same side of the road. I had to cross the road to get to the target, and pedestrian friendly it is not. But again, not designed for pedestrians, full stop. But yeah, I was going around there. One thing I did see in the target, which I did send a picture of to Anna, was the entire section of just Oreos. There's this massive section of just Oreos. It was massive, but that price I don't know. But I don't editing. I'll figure it out. Uh, yeah, so went there, came back. Next thing you're gonna have up is just me walking back from that target, and then walking, I believe, towards the Goodwill. So yeah, that's coming up now.
This place is massive. I've been for a walk. I'll go for up the road. I'll go find a Goodwill and a Target. I want to check them out. I've done 11,000 steps and I feel like I've barely been anywhere. But I did find a board game shop. That was nice. So I'm now heading away from being at the Target. That is just massive and quite overwhelming. I'm now going, oh God, walking up a bank. I'm now going to the Goodwill, have a look around there, and I think I might go back to the hotel and shower because Jesus Christ, I'm warm. Like the sun's actually not too bad. Like it's quite overcast, but because there've been storms, it's so humid. So yeah, right, yeah, back soon.
So yeah, again, I think for the end of the day, I don't know how many. I think I've done 15,000+ steps. I do have a little 16,536 by the end of the day, which was quite something. And again, let's say they're like 11,000 steps. And I just gone from the hotel, walked to one mall which was closed, walked up, had a little walk around another one, a little independent place was closed. Just the building was open, but the shops were closed. And then walked up to the Target, walked back, well, comic book shop, Target, uh, Goodwill, and then back to the hotel. And like I've done so many things, it's ridiculous. Everything was so far away. I'm just so used to how close everything is here. But yeah, next little bit, just I was getting to the Goodwill, like just looking at this, like the strip mall, I believe that's what it's called. It's just you've got the Goodwill and you've got a few of these other little buildings, but there's a lot of them just dotted around. Like you've got these little, say little, but they're pretty big little outlet areas. There was I think it was a seafood place, and then there was it a Jamaican place, something like that. But there was you'll see it in the video. But then there was the Goodwill, and then there's a few other, I think a nail bar and possibly a taco place and stuff like that. There was a few bits and pieces around. But yeah, I think that's actually the last video I shot of day one. So the rest of this is going to just be me talking after that little clip because I've still got a few other bits that went on. So yeah, next little clip is just a little shot of where the Goodwill was and that little shopping mall where it was at. So you can see just how big that Goodwill was. When I went in, walking into any shop there, the air conditioning is just amazing. Like actually, aircon is fantastic stuff, especially when someone's walking around somewhere so humid. But it's such a shock walking out into the humidity again. So it's like it's a very there's no transition. It's just like humid or cold, but it's nice being in that cold spot. Had a look around the Goodwill, usual sort of stuff. Didn't see anything I wanted to specifically buy. Now I'm limited in what I could buy anyway because I've already got carry on luggage and I was limited. I was packed. Everything was packed tight, so I didn't have much wiggle room at all. I did have a look through the books. Nothing caught my eye, but it was good to look around and prices were what I expected, fairly cheap. Charity shop equivalent for us, Goodwill. But from there, left the Goodwill and started walking back towards the hotel. I did stop off because one thing I had forgot about was picking up some sunscreen. And I did have. I was walking around one of these hoodies. I picked up a few of these. These are brilliant. Like they've got the little sun hood, so the light. But again, the whole lack of hair thing. I definitely need that sun protection. I did have my hat as well. Did have my cool Atlanta hat. So I had that on. I had my hoodie on. Again, it's very light, so it just keep me covered. But I was walking around in shorts a lot. So I definitely should have had more sunscreen. I did go and get some. Fortunately, never burned throughout the entire week, which was great. But went to the Aldi, got some sunscreen. I got some water. I got some snacks. Yeah, I got some like little what was it? Juicy fruits or something like that. I got just basically I needed something, just a little bit of sugar. Uh, but went back to the hotel, got a shower, got changed, headed down to the lobby because there was a lot of people staying at the Hyatt who were going to the PC, who were there for the summit, and some people, yeah, and I knew indirectly, others I knew, because I spoke to them. Some of them you just knew because you knew who they were. They were just there. They were in the groups and they're regularly commenting. But I went after I got changed, went back downstairs, and it was a case of trying to figure out what was the next step for everyone. Like, what were people going to do? Uh, Ended up got to have a chat for a while because Americ was off doing his own thing. He was off with George and Jen Fenmore. But they'd come to pick him up. So I went down there, got to meet George and Jen and Travis. It was good to hang out with them a little bit. And Judy turned up. Judy had been out and about. Uh, one of the things one of her piece of luggage that got lost was her yoga mat. So she had to go out and buy a yoga mat. So, we're at a DDPY Performance Centre. You do need your own yoga mat. I mean, the one I brought was actually a fold up one. It's actually really good. I was actually not as long as I would have liked for it, but again, that's just because I'm a giant. But it did the job. I was quite happy with it. But yeah, so from there, it was a case of chilling out. So I got to see a few people downstairs. Now, again, I will be looking at my little screen here for pictures. So I think the couple of people I saw, it was Brittany, Brittany Doty, I've spoke to for a while. She's someone I've kind of connected quite well with in the DDPY group. She owns one of my t-shirts, which, that's brilliant. If you own one of the Yoga Bead t-shirts, vests, anything like that, you're an awesome person in general. But you've got to meet her in person after we've spoke over the last year or so online. And also Jack, he was after trying to get selfies with everyone. I think he just about made it, apart from a couple of people who ended up leaving early that he missed, I believe. But you'll have to check that out. Well, it was great. I got a selfie with him. He got a selfie with me. And then from there, we just got to hang out with. I've got to make sure I get all the names. So it was hanging out with Jack, Brittany, uh, Bob, Ginger, Kat, Marshall, uh, Jeremy, and Alyssa. Sorry if I've got the name wrong there. Jeremy's wife. My pronunciation may not be amazing. But yeah, we all figured out what to do. We ended up going to the Aldi again because a few people needed some bits and pieces. And I tagged along because I was going out for food with them. So I was like, yeah, we'll come along. Went over there, we drove over. It was just round the corner, but because we were going to buy stuff, I ended up grabbing some protein bars, some vegan protein bars, some Cliff bars, like peanut butter ones, really nice. I also got a big thing of water, like 24 pack. Then I can put that in the fridge, and then I know I've got chilled water all the time. I had my water bottle, but rather than just filling up from the tap or filling up the PC, I could take a few water bottles with me, and it would sort me out. And then from there, went to right next door to the hotel. Again, excuse me while I scroll. Right next door to the hotel was a really nice Italian. I've got to find its name now. But one thing, yeah, I did unfortunately end up not going to the baseball game purely because by the time I'd done all the walking, I was absolutely shattered. And yeah, I just couldn't. I got back, I'd done that much walking, my time was completely shot. So didn't go to the baseball game, but I did walk past the stadium. I did see it, but went back. I'm going to stick a photo up here of everyone at the meal. I don't think I missed anyone. But yeah, we had a great meal at Garbiano's. Yeah, it was really nice Italian. I ended up with like a big bowl of pasta and like a tomato and garlic sauce, and then it was some sides. And yeah, I'm going to put that up now. And yeah, back in 2 ticks. So yeah, that was day one. I I had only intended this video to be, well, the whole thing, like my entire trip, but I talk a lot. So yeah, I've talked quite a lot. This is day one of me getting to Atlanta and my first full day in Atlanta. So after we got the mail, we went to bed, and that was it. I was done again. Slept reasonably well, but I'm going to put this up. This video is going to be Atlanta day one, and then next video will be like Atlanta day two, which will be for DDPY Performance Centre, the DDPY Transformation Summit 2024 day one. Might try and do all 3 days in one video. It might not work. Again, I talk a lot. You come to one of my yoga classes, you'll find out I talk constantly. So yeah, this has been the first day of it. Great time. It was a great, amazing experience. That's just day one. So hope you enjoy it. I'm going to put this up, and day two coming soon. Thank you very much.